Hello there, fools. I am having slight headphone problems, so do bear with me a bit. I don't know what's happened. It started today. It's just kind of being a bit odd, so I might be complaining about that a little bit. But other than that, hello. Let's hacking get started because I don't know what else to say. I guess let me say what room are we on in Spooky actually? Because that will help with what I want to say. I believe we're on 800. No, we're on 1,100. Holy heck. That's a lot more than I thought. We might get to 1,500 then? I don't know. But we're going to advance a bit in endless mode. I don't know how much, but we are going to advance a little bit. And then we'll finish the next two trial parts in Phoenix Wright. Might also do the next investigation afterwards, but yeah. Also, I could not come up with a stream title if you couldn't guess. Anyway, Jesus, I was thinking we might be on 1,000, but I was like, nah, that's a bit of a stretch. 1,000, nah. It's probably 800, I think. Don't know why I thought 800. I was quite confident on that. 1,100, Jesus. I don't know how far we get then. Maybe 1,500. Maybe we just go like 200 rooms, get to 1,300, and then end. I say end, I mean like switch games, but yeah, we've done a few Phoenix Wright streams in a row. God, I keep on my voice, heck, what's the word? My words, I keep like slurring my words, like mixing them up together, mashing them up. I noticed that the most with, especially last Phoenix Wright stream. Hopefully it won't be like that again. But what was I saying? Yeah, I've done a couple Phoenix Wright streams in a row, so I did want to do Phoenix Wright, but I didn't want to do another one in a row, so I decided let's just start it off with Spooky. So that's just a little bit different, you know? Just a little bit different. Also, Zazu's not here today. Like the last few streams she's been curled up on my bed, but she ain't having it today. She left because I moved her off of my chair because I needed to stream, and that was too much. That was too much for her. She had to go. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. This is Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Pizzeria Freddy Fazbear. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Backrooms 3 AM puppy playtime. Sorry. I don't know what came over me. I just had a sudden urge. I also do have Twitter open. That is a warning. So if I just start like not caring. I doubt it though, because we're doing Spooky and Ace Attorney. Which are usually games that have most of my attention, because I need to have my hand on my mouse and on my other hand on my keyboard during Spooky, so I can't really scroll Twitter. And then during Phoenix Wright I have to read a bunch, and it's an actually a story that I'm invested in, even if a little tedious in this case, specifically. I also, oh my god, during the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, specifically in it was like around, I don't remember exactly when, but it was around when we went into Shadow's car. I included this in the edited version, but it's like an hour and a half, so probably no one's seen this. But like during Shadow's car, it's not very noticeable in the actual stream, I've realized. I thought it was a lot more noticeable, but I just like started scrolling Twitter for a bit. I think it was from like entering until the interrogation, and then I stopped. I was just scrolling Twitter, like, I did not give a shit. That game actually, like, I don't think it was necessarily bad, but I just didn't enjoy it. Like, oh my goodness. It got so boring, in my opinion. I want to say in my opinion, because some people, for God knows what reason, likes that game. Sorry, I'm being rude again. But yeah, I just didn't enjoy it. Hi there, Mako Taco Bup. Absolutely, you know it. That's the phrase of the day. Thank you for the... The follower alerts are getting more and more cut off every day. Oh! Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. How are you doing today? If you want to share. If you don't, then you can keep it to yourself, because I never know how to answer that question, so I don't want to make people feel pressured to give an answer if they don't have one. I've not seen Madame at all. Come on, Madame. Actually, that's a lie. We did see her earlier. Where is she? She's... Oh! There she is. There she is. I was like, I swear I'm looking all around these rooms and she's just nowhere in sight. Oh, golly! I'm actually surprised I didn't get hit though, holy heck. I was expecting to get absolutely whooped for sure. Topical reference, topical joke, topical moment, heck. I keep fucking up my words. I'm doing amazing since I saw somebody... Oh, heck. I'm gonna scramble on my words if I don't pause. I'm doing amazing since I saw somebody streaming this amazing gem of a game, and to add to that, it's an adorable person that's streaming it, which adds to the immense enjoyment. What about you? Well, I would love to meet this person that you're talking about. I yeah, you know, well, no, I mean, yeah, bro, this person is you. Well, oh golly, uh, oh golly, can't take a compliment, can't take a compliment. You know, don't know how to process. Trying to stop smiling. That's how I'm doing. That's an emotion. Trying to stop smiling. Where is she just didn't show up that time. Oh, you hacker. Oh, why you? Worst case scenario in the world, in the universe. Oh. Well, at least it's... What the heck? I didn't hit it. Oh, well. Oh, hacking baby. Heck you, you hacker. Ow! Oh, heck. No! God, I hate this one. I think it's specifically the reason why I hate Baby and Whiteface so much is because they spawn at a random location in the room. Charles does as well, but he's not a scary hacker. He's a wonderful little boy. But these hackers are just terrifying. They come out of a wall. I was hoping it might be gone because I didn't hear any sound effects for a while. Oh my god, oh golly, oh golly. I kind of want to hug Whiteface, not gonna lie. That is an insane thing to say. Whiteface is the bane of my existence, not because he's dangerous, but because he's so annoying. Oh, now it's gone. I could exit, but I guess it's better to get Baby now and get it for like only a few rooms rather than later when I might be chased by more specimens. I'll keep it. Ooh, arcades. Oh golly, what was that bang? Oh gee. Oh golly. Hi, Gooey Man. I swear my headphones are bugging out. I didn't even hear him come out of the goop. There we go, I heard him that time. How are you, my dear fellow? Are you a little gooey man? You have some immense lag, do I? Heck! Why is it always lagging? Alright, that's it. I'm shutting down the VTuber model again. I might open it for Phoenix Wright if it stops lagging, but I'm shutting it down again, for now at least. Hopefully this should stop the lag. It always lags, I swear, oh my god. Hopefully this will stop it for a bit at least. Goop is another specimen I want to hug. That one's fair. Let me check if I have anything loaded that shouldn't be. I hope that's better. The little disco light is now only green and yellow instead of every colour. So hopefully it should be lagging less. Oh, let me also put tape back on my camera 1 sec. Oh my god, I forgot to unmute for the longest time. I was just talking to myself for so long. Oh my god, I'm a dumbass. I was just muted, being like, oh damn, I don't know how to fix the lag. Oh my god. Yeah, I actually don't know. I think it might go away on its own now that I've closed the VTuber model, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll play for a little bit, and if... Wait, is... Oh, yo, he's broken again! Oh, I love that. Thank you, Gooey Man. Yeah, I just have, like, a really shitty laptop that, like, can't handle anything. Like, I'm at the lowest settings I can be without it being, like, horrible. So I do just think that it might go away or it might not, and it sucks. The audio never lags, at least. That's good. Which, if you think about it, that's the main part of the game. It's just a podcast. Good, Gooey Man. I don't know why I said that, but I wonder how you're streaming on that shitty laptop. It is honestly very impressive that this thing can even stream. I do have, like, a computer, but it's not a very good computer either. And also the monitor is a square, so I can't stream on that either. It's honestly impressive how I ever managed to stream. It records fine though, which is really weird. The streaming quality is terrible, but oh heck. The streaming quality is terrible, but the recording of that stream is completely fine. It's really odd. Yes. No, no white face. I don't want a hug. Oh heck. That actually scared me. I hate to admit it, but that actually scared me. Where is he? Oh my god, that actually really scared me. What the heck? I was on edge from Whiteface already, and then his scary face popped up. Oh my god. Scaredy cat, how actually dare you? I'm actually shocked how I got so scared. I've never been so scared before from just a specimen 1, I don't think. That is crazy, oh my god. Whiteface just puts me on edge, I don't know why. It's because just any moment he could come through the wall and just hit me out of nowhere. Speaking of... Oh, he's totally back there. Oh my god, he's right there. Is he? I can't tell. Oh, I hate him so much. Oh golly, I hate him. Stop giving me this room! He was coming right up on me. Oh my golly! Why am I so jumpy today? Oh my god, I'm actually so jumpy. Oh my god. It's like actually embarrassing how much I'm jumping. He's definitely on over. I knew it, I saw you, dumbass. Oh golly, he's close. Bruh, don't you bruh at me. Don't you bruh me. Oh golly gee. I will bruh you. Well, now I'm just sad. Ah, he's here. That was a fake scream. I don't want people to actually think I screamed at that. That was fake. It was a joke. It was for a funny. Hi there, my dear fellow. Why are you not? Yep, do you? Thank you. We are almost at 1200, hopefully. Hopefully we don't die. Shouldn't do. No, it was totally a real scream. I will fight you. Oh golly. Oh, where is he? Oh, this room's annoying. I will take off my headphones. I swear. Where is he? Oh my god. Alright, there he is. I don't want to get rid of him. I want him to stay there. Because if I stare at him, then he'll teleport somewhere else. Okay, fight me. Heck, I wasn't expecting someone to actually accept my proposal. Well then, I guess we'll meet tonight at my place, and you can find out where that is, and if you don't show up, you're a coward. Oh, there you are. Hi, my dear fellow. He showed up to fight me. Are you going? Thank you. And I won that fight. Oh, he's somewhere. Ooh, he's over there. Ow! Ooh, I don't know where he was, but he was close. Oh, he's so close. I would do different things than fight you. If that is the place we meet up, I suggest we change the meeting spot. What the hell? That's Charles! Oh, my dear fellow, how does it feel? Oh, Charles! Oh, Charles! Oh, Whiteface! Oh, everyone. Everyone's here. Charles, have you seen Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Everybody is at the location, Charles. Whiteface is about to scare me, Whiteface is about to scare me, Whiteface is about to scare me. Charles would never, though. Charles? That's his actual real name. It's Wormy Charles. I think Wormy has 2 O's. And I don't know why, but I love it. I always called him Wormy. When I found out his name, I was just like, oh my god, Charles? I don't even remember how I started calling him, like, how I started referring to him in that accent, but I mean, when someone's called Charles, you just gotta say it like that, you know? Oh golly. Oh my god, he's Naruto running! I was never expecting that in a million years. In a million years, I never expected Charles to Naruto run at me. Oh my goodness. Jesus Christ. I should have gone that way, but oh well. It's fine, because this is the way it actually was, damn. And now I'm going this way. I've changed my ways, literally, because I'm going the other way. Oh no, he's right. He's to my right. I can run away. I can run away. Not for long though, because now I'm running this way, and he's to my right, so he's gonna catch up real soon. Alright, we're fine. No way that we die here. Oh, Charles, my lovely boy. Ooh, I'm gonna get jump scared. He was right there. It's fine. Oh, that was successful. That was successful. Alright. Might get to 1,500 and then switch to Phoenix, right? I think 1,500 is good. Maybe a bit less, maybe a bit... I don't think a bit more. I think 1,500 is the most. Maybe just another 100? I don't know, it just depends on how I feel. I make this up as I go along. Oh, Otto. Hi there, my dear fellow. I didn't even notice last time I was streaming Spooky that auto chased me during the white face bit. He was there during like the last however many rooms and I didn't even realize. Like, he's not even a threat. He's not even here yet. There he is. He's just so slow. He doesn't do anything. Bro, I wanna see him. I mean, he's being a little slow man. He's being a little slow boy. I don't know, I'm just too speedy. I'm Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh my god, I thought that the sound of the door breaking down was one of Whiteface's breaths. That was actually terrifying. Oh my god, Green Among Us. Freddy Fazbear knockoff, exactly. We love him. Five Nights at Freddy's, funny Five Nights at Freddy's, Five Nights at Freddy's, funny Five Nights at... Heck. Hi there, my dear fellow. Oh, heck. This guy's... he's not fine. He's not fine at all. That was actually terrifying. Oh no. It's fine, he's really hecking bad with turns. Oh, it's the weird running corpse. Yep, we love him. He's a little guy. He's a little fella. He's completely fine and dandy. Da-ba-da-ba-ba. Oh my god. Just knock him over, he won't be able to get up. That's a fair point. But whenever I touch him, for some reason, my face gets all blurry and staticky. That room's scary. There's 4 hacking cobwebs. Why are all of the specimen chases so short today? Wow. Aw. Forward. Ding. Left. Aw. Forward, right. Okay, forward, forward. Got it. You love repetition, so it's gonna be forward again. Okay, you broke my heart. Right. Forward, forward, left, forward. It's gotta be. Forward, forward, left. Okay, now you love repetition again. Forward, forward, left, left. Yeah, I'm kind of a gamer. Oh, yo, funny Five Nights at Freddy's? Hello, hello. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Not going near the brain, not after what happened last time. Oh, come on! Not again! Oh, I hate this dude with a burning passion. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm crying. I don't think he can show up for like the first 5 rooms, so we're fine still. But oh my god. This dude. It's Whiteface, it sure is. Welcome in, Ty. Oh my god. This guy just cannot leave me alone. Diddle diddle dun. Please keep giving me short rooms. Just keep giving me that room. Yeah, just rooms that I can run straight forward. And my stamina doesn't even— Oh, golly! That actually scared the heck out of me. I legit said, oh golly, as I got hit. He's somewhere back there. Like, he could come out of any of these walls. I'm gonna get hit in 5 seconds. That was a joke. I don't know why I said 5 seconds. That was a very long time for the— Oh golly. Very long time for the length of that room. Oh golly gee willikers, Batman. That's Otto, alright. I was like, I swear something's chasing us now. But it's just Otto. Oh golly, Batman, what are we gonna do now? I'm Batman. That's my Batman impression, I guess. Oh my god, I hear him! He's a hacker! His Febby Fabra is 5 now ready. Oh golly. Ah! Oh, he hit me. That was a lot less scary when I actually got hit. Because I didn't see it coming. It just happened. I was like, oh. Damn. I guess I lost. Well, there he is. Bam! I tried to juke him. Didn't work. I was about to say, is Otto still even here? Oh my god! I was about to say I'd rather get hit by Otto than Whiteface, but I got hit by both of them. Whiteface just takes so long to go sometimes. He's in this wall to my— Oh heck, no he's not! He actually was not in that wall to my right. Alright, he's behind me, he's behind me. He's behind me. Oh gee. Oh golly, he's right there. Oh, he was actually behind me. Oh my god, can you leave me alone, dude? He's somewhere over there. I knew you'd be here, my dear fellow. I'm running through you. I'm gonna be all healed up by the next time I see him anyway. See? Yo, 69! Hey, Whiteface, do you know the funny number? It's pretty funny. If you think about it. Ooh! Ooh, golly. I'm about to get hit, I'm about to get hit, I'm about to get hit, I'm messing up my words, I'm about to get hit. Ooh golly, ooh golly, ooh golly, ooh golly. Doesn't matter, I'm epic. Does he take like 40 rooms? Why did they make these endless mode chases last so long? They're so tedious. Ah, there he is. Oh golly. There he is. I swear Otto's gonna be gone by the time that Whiteface is. Nah, Otto's still here. His door noise is not playing for some reason. Oh, thank God. Back to HD. I'm so happy. I'm turning it back to 2D. That's right. I prefer it this way. I don't actually. Oh heck, I pressed Shift Tab because I'm a dumbass. And I didn't think about that on Steam. How when you press Shift Tab, it does a thing. Oh yeah, Otto's gone. That's also... Damn. Otto left after Whiteface. That's actually surprising. I was sure that Otto was going to be gone before Whiteface. Please keep giving me this room, please. I just want to be able to run straight forward. That's the exact opposite of what I asked for. Oh, 2 webs with 1 swing. Oh my God, 3 birds with 1 stone. Topical reference, topical reference. I've actually been tempted to play Garten of Banban because I have like my own views on why it's so shit, but also I decided I would just be better off if I just watched other people play it instead and just keep my thoughts to myself. I have so many thoughts on that game. Not many of them are positive, but there are a couple, but they're not positive for an intended reason. Garten of Banban is actually so funny. Like, they could have made a satire mascot horror game and it would have been good. But because they started off trying to make it serious and delved into satire on the 3rd one to try and make it seem like that's what they were going for, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm stuck, I literally... There we go. Oh my God, I told you this laptop's shitty, Jesus. Oh, Dimitri. Is he even going to hacking show up in these 7 rooms? I think he's just gonna be a child. Child man. Da 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 da. I'm child man. Hi, child man. Your voice sounds awfully deep for a child. Child man. Oh, yo, he did get to show up for 1 room. Heck yeah, child man. Pop off, king. Maybe another 100. Oh, if I go another 100 though, then I'll be like, oh, well, I could just go another 100. Like 1,000,000%. If I go another 100, I'll be like, oh, well, I might as well just get to 1,500. Do I really wanna? Because at this point, I'm getting a bit tired. Like, actually, ooh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. I was intending on mentioning it during the spooky part, but we're probably exiting here. But, yesterday, so the day before yesterday, I think that's when I streamed. My legs just started really, really hurting at like 12:30-ish. My legs just started really, really aching, and I couldn't like move them properly. Yesterday, I was intending on streaming. They literally like were not working. I could not do shit at all. It was so I've been tired for the last few days, so even like just a game that requires more energy is like, oh my goodness. Which is the reason why I was planning on doing like 200 rooms because I thought there were 800. So yeah, let's start Ace Attorney. Let me remember to category Phoenix, right. I just don't scroll down far enough so I can't actually see. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy, there we go. Oh heck, I forgot that I'm not here. My VTuber model's gone. Should I load it up? I could do. I don't know, can I be bothered to be honest? Not really. I am a bit tired. I might turn off my main light then. Let me get up real quick. Oh heck. I forgot to switch on my lamp before I turned off my main light, so I was just delved into darkness for a second. That was scary. Okay, yeah, I won't load up. Ba-da-doom. I won't load up my VTuber model. Because I want to focus all of my efforts into my voice rather than also trying to move around. Because the VTuber model does give me that mindset of like, oh, I got to be moving my face around so that the VTuber model picks up like movement, so it's not just sat there doing nothing. I do love the VTuber model, but just every now and then it's like, oh, I just cannot be bothered to like act, like bouncy for the VTuber model to capture. I just wanna heckin' sit back and do some voices, you know? I feel like I need a little image there for when I don't have the VTuber model. Like we used to have like Egg Benedict or like McGriddle. I wonder if I have anything. Probably not right now, but I should get something just to have so that this background isn't so empty when I don't have the VTuber model. Da, 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 da. Oh, I do still have Egg, and I have McSwiggy. Okay, McSwiggy's in charge when I'm fit to screen. McSwiggy's in charge when I'm not here. There we go, perfect. Yeah, I'll keep him there, because let me just also add the ending soon, doing my job for later right now so that I don't have to do it then. There we go. Alright, yeah, let's just heck in. Should I also get rid of... Nah, I'll keep Beelzebub. I was thinking I should maybe get rid of Beelzebub so that the whole screen is Phoenix Wright, but I'll keep Beelzebub. Did I? Yeah, I did change the scene. Alright. Maybe just doing 2 trial parts, but maybe more. February 24th. The day that the... What cover song was that? Satoru Hosanaga's cover song. I gotta stop with that bit. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. Hi, Void. Welcome in. I hope you're having a great time. I also forgot to say, I hope you're having a great time to Ty, I'm pretty sure. Sorry, Ty, that wasn't directed. I hope you're also having a great time, but welcome in, Lucidity Void. How are you, if you want to say? If not, don't worry about it. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time, and a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I just woke up like 20 minutes ago. Pretty good sleep. That's always nice. I wish I could have woken up 20 minutes ago. Actually, then my voice would be all fucked. I wish I could wake up without my voice being fucked. That's what I wish for. I wish that I could just vibe without my voice being fucked. That'd be awesome. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? Hits as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless, as usual. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. Holy shit. Oh my god. Bargaining for her life for something that I'm guessing she doesn't know anything about. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Sky. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. Jake Marshall. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. Yeah, this confuses me because there's only 2 possible people in this case who it could be, so I'm just gonna say, so the Goodman that Meekin saw was definitely a fake, right? Like, I don't know if that was actually confirmed, but my theory is just too good, as per usual, because I'm a gigabrain genius. But yeah, he was asked to show his ID. Goodman had lost his ID because someone else stole it. but this ID was used, so that person did have the ID. I don't think I explained it very well. So there's only two people that could be, and that's Marshall or Gant. And I was leaning towards Gant at first, but now I'm thinking it might be Marshall. I'm confused. I don't want it to be, because he's awesome, but what if? Because why else would he have blood on his hand? It's like actually the most confusing. Marshall, why did you have to leave evidence? If you're gonna be the killer, at least don't show it off. You're confusing me. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. Ugh. He was messy with the jelly. Exactly. The blood jelly that came out of Meekins or Goodman or someone? The blood jelly that came out of someone? It would have come out of someone. I'm not actually sure why there was... Whose blood was it? I'm assuming Goodman, but then the corpse was gone? This is so confusing. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend... Oh my god. See, it's words like this where it's the same, like, sound several times, like order to... It's like when I had to say, Judge G Goku in DGS, and sometimes I'd mash it together and just go Judgy Goku. In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? It is the blood of the strawberries, exactly. He was just having a snack, Your Honor. Just having a little snacky snoo. Snacky doo? I don't know what I intended to say, but neither of those sounds good. Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Okay, girl boss. Jesus. Yes, sentence that man to death. Do it. I dare you. Edgeworth. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... What the fuck? I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yeah, that's really confusing actually, because I was thinking that maybe he died half an hour before and was transported to the... But then if it happened... Wait, but we don't even know... Wait, no, that's a fake... Wait. No, wait, what am I thinking? Wait, I have thoughts, 1 second. So, 5:14... What's half an hour before that? That would be here, wouldn't it? That would mean Edgeworth or this person did it. I'm assuming that this person is gonna be Marshall, is my guess. Maybe not, but that is who I'm assuming. So I'm thinking maybe this isn't when he died, because with my running theory, this isn't Bruce, this is Marshall or Gant. So that was not where he died. Wait, so, yeah, the blood was wiped away, so maybe it happened before then? Then again, it could be more than half an hour away. It doesn't have to be half an hour exact. So pretty much... What would half an hour be? That'd be around this time, right? Or would it be 4:45? I don't know. I think these three are the most... I don't know. I don't know, because I was assuming he was killed half an hour before and then transported to the prosecutor's office by Edgeworth's car unknowingly. But then I was like, but then it also happened there, but then that also doesn't matter because that wasn't Goodman. Probably. I'm assuming it wasn't Goodman, like I'm assuming that the boatkeeper was Yanni Yogi. Because it was a solid theory and it turned out to be correct. And also, probably at least partially due to me remembering things and not remembering that I'm remembering them. Like this time, all of these theories might be completely true because I already know them. But I don't know, so I'm just gonna... Anyway, I'm gonna continue on with the game, I'm just talking at this point. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. No way, that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls... Is it going to be Marshall? No, it's Meekins. Boo, boring. The suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Why is this a shock? This happens pretty often. Oh boy, things are getting wild from the get-go. Don't know why those advanced on their own, but okay. Hi, Meekins! Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is, sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Crime report, sir. How old is Meekins? He's part of the younger generation. Oh, can't check here. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. By whom? I wonder. I wanna see how old he is. He's part of the younger generation. He's 22. You know, part of the younger generation. Wait, Edgeworth is like, he's only 2 years older than him. I'm part of the younger generation. You know. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Oh, my headphones are being fucked again. Sorry. Not that it really matters too much. Oh heck, I'm sorry. Heck. This song actually sounds so weird. I have like I have some notes cut out, so it's really odd. My headphones are being so weird. I might just leave it like that, honestly. Oh, alright, I fixed it temporarily. If that happens again, I'll just leave it like that. If any funky sound effects happen that I don't realize, it's because my headphones are being fucked. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I've said this line 3 times now. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. Sure you did, buddy. After that I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Wait, this same spelling mistake has happened twice. Is this intentional? Because it is a spelling mistake, right? Do unto to others. Is Meekins just supposed to be saying that wrong? Because that is definitely not how you say that, right? Do unto to others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir, and it's misspelled, misgrammared every time. I see. Then you fainted, and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Crime report, sir. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. That was my 4th time saying it. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes, now there's a scary thought. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. Oh, heck yeah, look at him! Look at him! I was sure it was. I got cut in my throat, sir. I was sure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. Yeah, God forbid. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I might take a little break from streaming, like, not very long, but just like maybe... Oh, I fucked up my headphones again. Maybe just like, I don't know, a few more days before my next stream, because, oh my god, my throat. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I dropped my slipper. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? Is this Meekins? There it is! I found it! There's the one right there, right here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. For some reason, I just kind of blanked when I saw the numbers there. I see. Get it? Because in Japanese, my name would be Naruhodo, and so I would go, Naruhodo, get it? Huh? But the number 5989596 is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room, and the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security system. Screen, even. Det added. Alright, so that's Meekins. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. Heck. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. Jesus. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this scar on... You want to know how I got these... Joker. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life. Then I did it. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I didn't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. I see. He must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir! After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. Are we supposed to be finding contradictions? Because I've not found anything yet. I feel like we just have to press him for everything. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh. Right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. That's good, at least. Well, we can all rest easy now. Yeah, I just had to press him. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins? With regard to that, sir. Take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. Why? Why would he want you to see it also? America? America moment? The Chief delivered it. What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Best part of the game. I don't remember anything about this except for the obvious part that will be immediately obvious. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? I wanted to see him. I want to see him. Yes! Oh my god, I'm so happy. This is the only part I remember. Does Meekins get a 3D model then? Dun, dun. Oh, here he is. Oh my god, he's 3D. Oh my god, Goodman 3D, real? Goodman in Dual Destinies, what will he do? A lot of very convenient things hiding his face. Oh my god, look at him! How did they have such good animation for this and then they didn't for Dual Destinies? Oh my god, oh my god! Meekins died. Oh my god! Wait, how did he leave? Was that there before? Okay. I wasn't paying too much attention because I was having so much fun. Was that a cloth in the locker at the beginning? Because I remember that was there in the evidence, we saw that, but I don't remember actually seeing it in the video. But then the last time that it went over, I saw it. And I can't tell if that's just because I hadn't realized it until then or because it wasn't there until then. How did he get out? Did he just crawl under the camera? Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that's the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? A video from the security camera placed in the evidence room. Alright, can we review? Is there a way to fast forward? Oh my god, there's no way to fast forward. Alright, I didn't actually see then. That locker already has a green light. Or it wasn't green, it was like red or something, but that locker's already lit up. And then Goodman goes... It's not there. So that does show up in just the last panel over there. And also that open locker light was already on. So that's... Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone. in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. Mystery Man. Oh my god, it's so weird having my hair cut shorter. I love it. His face can't be clearly seen in the video. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. Okay, I get it. So that is Goodman's locker. So that's why he was disguised as Goodman. He needed something out of his locker, but the locker was already, the light was already on. So I assume that means it could already be opened. Does it say anything about how the lights turn on? Indicator lamp lights up when it's open. Okay. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do so. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. So I think I just need to present either the locker or the videotape on the bit where he's like, oh yeah, fingerprint, only Detective Goodman could have, but I'll press everything. I would say, but I'll press everything anyway, but I'm gonna specify every time anyway. Also, I'm boiling. 1 second, let me just take off my hoodie, Jesus. It's so hot. I just realized I don't have to like, usually I have to like bring my hair back to the back of my head whenever I'm like taking off clothes so that it doesn't get all in my face, but now I don't have to anymore. I accidentally took off my shirt as well. It's not that hot, Jesus. Okay. Oh, now my legs are tired again. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with the knife? So sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter. The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking to them, you see. To be honest, whoever this is probably could have... I'm guessing it's Marshall. That's my guess. I don't have any recollection of who it could be, honestly. I just assumed Gant because I kind of remember how the end plays out a little. Which is definitely not a spoiler. But like, this person could have probably shown the ID and Meekins would have been like, yep, that's probably all good, you're wearing the same hat, so, same person. Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I'll bet my badge on it. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I just imagine when Phoenix wants someone to hold something, he just says, hold it. Yeah. Excuse me, Edgeworth, you know this pen, can you, hold it? I couldn't think of anything that you'd have to hold. Hey Edgeworth, I'm gonna go, to the toilet. I have this beer, can you please hold it for me? Yeah, thanks. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Ugh! Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins! Pig! Oh my god, he actually got strangled, Jesus. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods.
Now please be more certain when you testify.
Yes, sir.
You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him.
Bruce Goodman's a good man. He would not do that. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do so.
About these lockers, is there no other way to open them?
No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to.
Exactly my point, sir. And this, too. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir.
How do you know that information?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir.
People in the know?
The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint.
So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
However, the most important detail is not shown in this video, the man's face.
So, sir, if I may say something, sir.
Please do. After all, you are the one being examined.
I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir.
Yes, you have a point. Footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it.
I can. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. I literally don't need to. Is there a problem? There's a problem. The light was already on.
Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange?
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains such a contradiction.
Objection! Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video.
Whoa, you would want me to point it out? That's crazy.
Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that.
You can do it, Mr. Wright. Hit setup so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Oh, now I can. Awesome. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Wait, can I... No, I can't do anything here. I can't pause or anything. Please don't play too many times. I can't stand watching this video.
How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Or is the contradiction that indicates something?
Dun 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 dun. Oh wait, I should have... Oh no, I think that...
The thing that's strange about this video would have to be, this?
Heck, I had to point at the light directly.
Hold on a second. I need to use my eye drops. Well, I don't get it. Would you mind if I borrowed your eye medicine? Don't look at me with those blurry eyes. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this through again.
Now what do I do? Play it again.
Very well, let's try this again. Just remember one thing, Mr. Wright, every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt.
Says the one pointing his finger at us.
I will now play the security tape.
Alright, I got actually straight up to and the light. Cause the music stopped, I was like, oh yeah, that must be right.
The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins.
Sir, do you mean me, sir? Yeah, you are the one who is called Officer Meekins, sir.
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this.
Why is the music playing?
Hey Paul, when you grab the when you grab the handle, the sensor reads your fingerprint if it's a match.
Oh yeah, there it is. That is Maggie. I don't know if any of this is also a reference because it's all black and white. I can't quite see, but that's nice.
The light turns on, and the lock is released.
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something's seriously wrong with this picture.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. How many times are we gonna have to just sit through this video? I don't care because I love it. Dun 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 dun.
When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker. Let's rewind to a little earlier.
Oh my god. Bro, this is the slowest thing in all the universe. Like, bro, we already saw it. We already saw it. He's moonwalking Michael Jackson. I found out who Bruce Goodman clone is. It's Michael Jackson.
Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit.
Plot twist, he's just getting it wrong over and over again just because of the blue badger. It's so distracting. He looks so cool. I love the police all of a sudden. The blue badger is peak propaganda. Literally, if the police in real life had mascots like the blue badger, I would bow down to the police.
Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle.
Ah! Oh my god, back sprite check, he looks so fancy as heck.
Order, order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime, but the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? I just realized I can watch this video whenever I want. Because I was about to say, I wonder if it's already slightly open. No, it seems to be shut. Let me just watch one last. Oh wait, the glove falls out. Wait, what does that mean? The glove falls, wait, that's even more confusing on so many levels. Wait, the glove was on top of the police tape. What? Wait, so the glove... Okay. I'm not gonna think too much about that for now. So the glove fell out. I didn't notice that the first time. Does that mean anything? I don't know. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor?
So do you have any ideas of watch this Blue Badger video?
I mean, Your Honor, the Blue Badger makes a compelling argument. I mean, you know, I'm watching this video over and over. I'm trying to look at the lockers, but I mean, it's just the Blue Badger, Your Honor. I can't take my eyes off of him. Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Oh, maybe... was the glove, like... stuck leaving the door open, maybe? Because otherwise, why would it fall out? That just doesn't make sense. It must have been, like, right on the edge, so it must have been, like, trapped so that the locker couldn't close properly. Ooh, that must be it. Hopefully. Me, Your Honor?
That's one of my theories that I'm a little less confident on.
Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator?
There was the locker to convince it to open. Yeah, the Bruce Goodman double was just like, hey, hi. Sorry, that's... I was trying to go for like a sort of like sexy voice to be like, but that wasn't. Just like, hey, how you doing? You're looking pretty fine, girl. Yeah, I want to open up. Yeah, I want to open up your logs. Oh, I hate myself. Huh? Oh, maybe something like jammed the system sensor. It has to be the glove. It was the glove. Something jammed the sensor. Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. To be fair, if I hadn't watched it back, I wouldn't have noticed that glove, so... Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't blocked. Oh my god, I need to stop. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. How do I... Alright, close backspace as well. No! No! Wait, I can rewind. That's not the end of the world. For a second, I was so sad that I paused just on the frame where it was out of the way. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. What the hell? What did I click? I clicked option. Why is it just on options? This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. My throat is so dry, but at the same time, there's so much saliva building up, which is why I'm like having such a difficult time. Because either I drink water so that I'm not like choking on my own throat, or I don't drink water and then, or I do, either I don't drink water and I choke on my own throat, or I do drink water and then I'm getting caught in my own saliva. There's no winning. Sorry if that was a gross thing to say. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But, sir, it's been my experience that things fall out fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my cat door, sir. What? We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? I feel like at this point I'm getting so many things right. This must be something to do with memory. There's no way that I'm getting all of these right based on purely deductive reasoning. I must be just remembering some of these without actually, like, realizing that I'm remembering. Like, there's no way. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. That's such a specific thing. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. Mickens, please stop talking. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. I wonder if you can present what the object is right now. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents, like it was made of rubber. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene, I've seen Death Note. Light Yagami uses the plastic part of the pen to do the thing with his Death Note. It's really cool. It's a really cool contraption. I've actually been rewatching Death Note recently. It's really cool. Watch Death Note if you haven't, because it's really cool. Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator you don't mean... I think I've finally got this figured out. Was that supposed to be a joke that I'm not understanding? What was Meekins talking about? By insulator, do you mean... What's the joke there, Meekins? What are you trying to say? Very well. Will the defense please present that are oh no! I thought that I accidentally presented it. Well, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney. Oh god. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that it was in the victim's locker. I'm gonna fucking quit this game. Sir, what do I even say to this? What could I ever possibly say to this? How could I ever respond to this? Your Honor, I'm a lawyer, did you know? Yeah, that's my evidence for everything. It's just, I'm a lawyer, and so you should trust me. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. Oh! The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir! It would appear so, sir! I love his bikes, right? It looks so silly.
Order! Order! Order!
And polite. Silly and polite.
So are we to believe, then, that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Sir? Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir.
Try my patience, and I swear to God.
Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
Is this a joke? Very well. Begin your testimony.
Mystery Man, too. There is one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. Alright, well, now I just have to present the fact that his was missing. Where is that evidence, actually? Yeah? Yeah, there we go. Dun, dun. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used this card. The way that this testimony is going makes me even more convinced that my theory is completely correct. Because, thingy, he had the ID card. That is true. But he couldn't show it to Meekins. And that's because he looked completely different than the ID card, and he was worried that Meekins would be like, hey, what the fuck, you're not Bruce Goodman. That's a completely different dude.
An ID card record? I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor.
Sorry, I don't know why I do that with Edgeworth's voice.
The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end.
Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination.
Mystery Man too! There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. Heck.
So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you?
Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir. Couldn't he just use his right hand for that?
Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second.
To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card.
Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards?
Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I will never forget it.
But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that?
Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said two out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me.
Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card, and there's no possible way that they could be stolen. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony.
When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Heck.
Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. Oh, What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. Indeed. So it is, Your Honor.
Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, you could hide the evidence. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? What the fuck? Shh, don't stare at him.
You've got the wrong color, kid.
Why is a child watching this anyway? What the hell?
It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences.
I mean, there's evidence transferal day. What the fuck is everyone talking about? Obviously, people were in there.
Like, oh my god, Edgeworth showed up, like, way before the crime happened. Oh my fucking god. He must have been the murderer. But now, let us continue with the cross-examination.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card.
Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you.
Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir.
Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife.
Maybe he just panicked.
Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out.
Mr. Wright, what do you think?
I'm confused.
What?
The problem with the ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this.
You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got. Bro's just having a rough day. He's at his breaking point, you know? Absolutely. Proves the man is Detective Goodman trying to I don't actually know which statement I need to present it on. Let me save real quick. I think it's this one. Dun 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 dun. Objection.
Wait one moment, Officer Meekins.
I'm not good at waiting, sir.
I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more. Sorry, Your Honor, I had to yawn. I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report. It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe there's something to his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Sorry, Your Honor, I'm just EP. Yeah.
Order! So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought.
Yawning again. Oh my god.
The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was— oh my fucking god, why was that sound effect so loud? Was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order! Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion.
Oh, I get it. He's trying to argue. Yeah, Meekins didn't do the crime. It was Lana. This is a fake dude. It was Lana that did it. That's what Edgeworth was trying to get me to expose myself. Heckin' Lisa.
If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake.
Oh, I fucked up my headphones again.
In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder.
That is... Well, I guess that's right.
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around.
This isn't gonna end well.
Well, well, it seems you've finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry, my headphones are still having a bad time. I've been trying to...
The defense has already done the explaining for me.
Alright, it's all good now.
The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime.
I feel like I'm 5 years old trying to formulate a sentence whenever I play this game. Oh heck, my headphones again. I just...
So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon.
Ah!
I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning.
Whoa. Oh my god, who could have seen this coming?
The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered.
Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? I'm about to yawn. I'm about to yawn.
However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman.
And you don't think this is linked?
Just so, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this? I wonder if it's objecting. What? Don't do that, Phoenix.
One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven.
Nuh-uh.
Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing, and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder.
Okay. Yeah, that stands out way too much for me to have not noticed it. However, why did the whole thing play? What? That's so... what? That was jarring. What? It's like, oh yeah, this may not show the murder, and then it like, a minute later. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter.
Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident.
Here.
This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
They're not even being subtle. Mr. Wright, do you mean...
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh? Whom do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name.
Am I gonna have to point this out?
Because I sure wonder who this Texas Ranger could be before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name or theirs, because it would just be easier to say there. Well, the certain Texas Ranger is actually Emma Sky. No, it's not. Mr. Wright, I'm not even going to bother asking you why. I've never seen a more obvious stall tactic in my entire career. I thought that was Mr. Wright talking. Mr. Wright, don't you remember what you said this morning? You know, about your trump card. That's right, those bloody fingerprints we found in the evidence room. That's my chance to bring him in to testify. Their name is the Colorado Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I'm so sorry, I'm yawning so much. Oh my god. I didn't think I'd be yawning this much. I went to sleep a lot later last night, I swear. I think. I actually don't remember going to sleep. But oh well. I went to sleep at some point. I just don't remember it. I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. So I think that's the end of the first trial part, which is nice. Because last time the first trial part was really long, and then the second trial part was like really short compared to it. So hopefully this one's also really short compared to it, purely because, oh my god, I'm so tired, but also I'm willing to go however long this takes. I'm not doing the next investigation though, no way. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witnesses... Oh god, not this again. Oh god, I thought that we were over and done with. Subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Go play on the swings. Wait, is that the end of this trial part? Wait a minute. Is there a recess in this one trial part and then the next trial part is also a different recess? Wait a minute. Uh-oh. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright's trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. That was the most British protection ever. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Gumshoe! Uh-oh. Lana's gonna fucking kill you, man. Uh-oh. Emma's gonna cry. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, no, do you have something for me? Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey. Oh, I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh, you mean this, right? I turned into Santa Claus. My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident. But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the Chief Prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness. Files for the Joe Dark killings solved 2 years ago. Take it from me. You don't want anything to do with Take it from me. You don't want anything to do with serial murderers. There's a lot of evidence in this case. Closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Crime, serial murder. Sentence death. Victims Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. That's a familiar surname. Okay. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witnesses Lana Sky and Emma Sky. Investigation Task Force, Executive Investigators Damon, Lana, Head Investigator Bruce Goodman, Investigators Jake, Marshall, Angel Star. Alright, we pretty much knew all of that except for the Neil Marshall thing. Maybe another one of those names will also be brought up later, but that one's definitely going to be brought up. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murderers. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just going to ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name's in there. I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. Joe Dark... No, Lana. That's over with. No!
Oh, heck. Wait. She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here.
Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Dim and Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck.
I'd better take a good look at this file.
To be continued, okay, thank God. Because I was thinking there was going to be a hacking recess, and then the trial part would continue, and then there will be another recess for the next trial part, so thank God. So this is the latter one.
It's me, Your Honor. Edgeworth, why do you always say that? You're really weird.
The court will now reconvene for the trial of Ms. Lana Sky.
Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime.
Oh, we love him.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Oh, heck yeah.
Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. As from the name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding... What the fuck?
Oh my god, my brain just auto-corrected to American. That was jarring. Oh my god. Oh, that's so fucking funny. Oh my god, my brain was just like, yep, Ace Attorney, he's American. Oh, that was fucking jarring.
You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this. That's Edgeworth, what the fuck? Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime, in plain old English.
Next time I stream, I gotta make sure that I'm not, like, absolutely exhausted, because apparently I have been these last few streams. I've been yawning so much. I've been yawning so much, I didn't even realize I was tired. Most of my yawns are silent, so it's just like a break in my speaking, but still.
Day of the crime. My job is to keep a wary eye on that bone orchid. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day. That ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down.
That makes sense.
I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, then it's time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Damn. That's rude.
Wait a minute.
What do you mean by 2 security systems? I assume you meant the locks, right? Oh, the cameras and the card reader, yeah. I assumed you meant, like, the fingerprint locks. But yeah, obviously the ID card reader.
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks and the evidence lockers?
Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
He's not being very helpful. Wait, so he doesn't even know about the locks?
He's not that good with machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
This one seems like trouble.
Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours.
So he doesn't know about the fingerprint-activated locks. Wait, so was it him? Because why would he have set up the... Wait, so was the glove just like that by mistake? How is the glove like that, actually? Because if he did it, he wouldn't have a reason to, because he doesn't know about the fingerprint locks.
My job is to keep a wary eye on that bone orchid.
How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room?
I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings.
You interred them?
Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time had come, I'd erase the tape.
If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes would be erased every 6 hours.
Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
This guy's a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room.
They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style.
But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right?
Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
No desperado I know lets rules get in his way.
No desperados I know join the police force.
So, Officer Marshal, on the day of the crime? Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day.
There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker.
Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks.
How does this guy avoid being fired? By crypt, do you mean my Discord server as crypt, which you can check out in the hacking socials in the link in the description for the VOD channel, and also, heck, I misspelled it, and also here in the Twitch chat. Thanks for that, Marshall, thank you.
Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway.
You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct?
Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a goldmine of evidence.
And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism.
Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a back works. That's quite, incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Ooh, can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? I remember right outside a street side saloon at the time it went down. Yeehaw, yippee-ki-yay. What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. That's fair. Not even Angel steak lunches can beat the parlor's mountain goal of sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, "Did you not want to race this year?" I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the direct trail. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall. That's right, partner, or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. I'm a cowboy. Sorry. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. Before I use it though, I'd better up the ante. I did forget about that actually. Actually I'm a lawyer, so this isn't true. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints will be in there. Blood. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Yo, back sprite. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your bloodstained fingerprints were at the crime scene. The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. Ugh. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. About the blood-stained fingerprints. Well, it's just ketchup, Your Honor. Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. Blood-stained fingerprints. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? What? How do you... what? How would... do we see his hands? I mean, I assume we do eventually, but... No, he isn't wearing gloves. I was about to say it's hard to tell, but I think I saw his fingernail. So he wouldn't be wearing gloves. It is a bit tricky. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. The witness's explanation appears valid. Although there's room for doubt, life won't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Bloodstained fingerprints. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month. Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. Oh, then it's you. You're a dumbass. Then it's you, because the thing was stuffed in your locker by the Bruce Goodman, so it's you. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker's covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The chances of that happening are a million to one. Well, yeah, but if his fingerprints are all over it, then it'd be a bit more. Like, the placement of the fingerprint is extremely convenient if it was a coincidence, but it is possible. The chances of that happening are a million to one. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are a million to one. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. I was eating a burger and forgot to wash my hands. Exactly. That's the blood is just it was, you know, ketchup. It's just ketchup. Unrelated. They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. Well, that's a very on-topic joke for this. One's got to do with breakfast, while the other's a type of murder. Yeah, you'd know all about that, wouldn't you? He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Homo, because you're a homosexual, my dear fellow? Is that what you're trying to confess to us? Homonyms for the homosexual? Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? How did you know that? What? How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. Ugh. There's only one reality, and that's your reality. If I don't know how to love you, I'll leave you be. And that's this. Did you like my singing from Doki Doki Literature Club? The security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, he can say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner?
But it was, and I can prove it.
What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. That video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth, and the floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now.
Fuck. Yeah.
Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Shows this incriminating evidence of I need to stop doing that of the witness, Jake Marshall. It was something like that.
Dun 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 dun. Oh wait, is he? Wait! I want to see if he's wearing gloves. It's very unclear. Yeah, sure. I'll assume he is wearing gloves. No, you hacker! Wait, can I rewind to... Oh my god, I wanna... Oh my god. Oh my god, I wanna... Oh my god. Oh, I'm pissed. It was already paused. It was already paused. Wee. Wee. This is actually sick. This is my favorite part by far. Dun 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 dun. Finally, bringing our attention back to the security camera. It's a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. Well, shit, partner. Days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well, that's 2. You can clearly be seen in this video. I'm sorry, but the very well added on 2 extra words, Mr. Wright. You fucked it up. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. My back. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Why is it so slow? That's it, I have a chocolate orange now. Fuck you, Your Honor. I'm grabbing a chocolate orange. I'm trying to fix my audio at the same time. I'm doing 2 things that are not playing the game. That's right. Fuck you, Your Honor. I probably don't actually need this chocolate orange. But they do help with my throat sometimes, so... why not? I'll give it a try. I'll just have a piece real quick. 'Cause why not? What are you gonna do? Stop me? It's my stream, bitch. Mm-mm-mm. Yummy. Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? My throat feels so much better actually just eating one bit of chocolate orange. I don't think I'm gonna stutter on all of my words as much now. When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. I actually feel so much better in my throat from just eating one chocolate orange piece.
I said something. Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. You're a fucking dumbass. Oh, you're a fucking dumbass. Even I can tell, and I'm the prosecution. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade. When I was a young boy... Sorry, that's been stuck in my head all day.
But you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I'll call your bluff. You say open that locker, now prove it.
Do I have to? I mean, everyone here already kind of knows, but... Okay.
A fingerprint sensor?
Ooh. Oh heck, new Sprite, he's sweating. Ooh, what was that in his hand?
We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. I'm fucking up my words again.
What is that? Is that a stick?
What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
What is...
I only got 1 word for you, partner.
No! Well, damn.
Order! 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 Witness, explain yourself! If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard.
I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall.
Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
He said please. You kinda gotta confess now. What is that like... What is that? What are you... What the hell is that?
Ole!
Yep, please answer the question. As I don't pronounce my S's sometimes with the judge voice specifically, I've noticed it several times and I just keep going because it doesn't matter that much, but it's so odd. Like sometimes I just go, please tell us why. Please tell her why. Please tell her why.
What is he now, a bullfighter?
That's alright, Officer Marshall.
I believe we can figure the rest out from here.
We can?
Have a look at these floor plans.
There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room.
Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. It's the thing that he's been saying this whole time.
That's right, the only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. To be fair though, this could have been... actually, no, because he would need his ID card, never mind. I was about to say this could have been not Marshall, he could have just went in as the camera turned away, just came into the room. Just like how he left the room. You know? Like, as the camera was turning, he went underneath it. put that thing in the locker and then left the room, so he could have easily came in and put it in the locker, but it would have shown in his ID card, so no.
Well then, let's hear it.
Dun dun da ba da ba.
Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime?
It's difficult to tell which one is. I think this one's supposed to be Meekins, so this is. Yeah, this one is Meekins, right? Meekins is. Alright, yeah.
Officer Marshall was standing right here. There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Oh my god. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. Ah! But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
He's already said he doesn't look at people's faces. Dumbass.
May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir.
Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond?
He suddenly pulled a knife on me. I wish I ate a bit of chocolate orange earlier. I'm finding it so much easier to say lines now. I was like getting so self-conscious, I was like, oh my god, I'm fucking up all of my words, what is wrong with me today? I just needed a bit of chocolate orange.
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. Oh! As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? Ugh. You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
Oh, maybe the clothes is what was in his locker? Maybe. Because I was assuming it was a piece of evidence that he got from, probably the SL9 incident, from Goodman's locker, but that might have been the clothes. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. Like maybe the coat, not like the entire outfit, but like the coat and maybe the hat. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Let me save here, because I don't think it lets me save when I have to actually present the evidence.
Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Ugh, this can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. Ugh. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? I gotta press him, and then present some evidence. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. Outside of the box, sorry.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered something later of something, which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
Can I just present it there?
I don't want to have to fast forward through it again. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence that this video is my only shot. Wait, what do I present actually? Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness opened the locker door. Oh! Maybe he had blood on it. Oh! He has blood, he has blood, he has blood! Oh my god, I never even realized that. Oh, that's such a good detail. I actually love that part. That is great. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked. I thought that there was more to that. I thought, yeah, the ding right there, I thought that was gonna happen. So I was like, yep, I'm waiting for it. And the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Just getting a bit more chocolate orange. It amazes me that some people don't know what chocolate orange is. I didn't even know that it was like a UK exclusive thing pretty much until like a little into streaming. Because so many people are like, what the hell is a chocolate orange? Now then, Officer Marshall. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. I am. Thank you. 2 years ago. If you only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. Chocolate orange is my beloved. Beloved. Chocolate orange is my beloved. I love chocolate oranges. They're so yummy. They're a bit hard, which is tricky. Also, both of the times that I've eaten chocolate orange, like...
I'm the coolest.
Thank you for the follow. Oh my god, I wasn't expecting that. That was actually shocking. I was like, why is sound effects playing? Thank you for the follow. Both of the times that I've eaten chocolate oranges, I've, like today, on stream just now, I almost choked. And I didn't say anything, but like, I just swallowed a bit too early, and because I have a very small, fucked up throat, I very nearly choked and panicked, but then I drank water afterwards. And both times I was like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have done that. Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. Alright. Seems the time's come. Why is this a testimony? We're gonna have to pick about his confession? I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. Oh. The SL9 incident was being closed, and because it was the evidence transferal day, it was all gonna just, like, get thrown away. But someone related to Marshall died. And so for some reason, I guess there was something unsolved about it they wanted to look into. I stole the victim's ID and dressed like him. I plan to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught in the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Well, at least Meekins is now cleared. So the supposed victim was really you. Oh fuck, I fucked up my audio again, Your Honor. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. Me when I get chocolate orange. God, I love dancing with my chocolate orange. It was way too much blood for a small donation. I think that my theory still stands then. He was killed. Getting déjà vu, by the way. He was killed in the evidence room before this happened. So many, like, oh my god, so many just insane coincidences for this case to happen. Jesus Christ. For it to work like this, Jesus. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? Phoenix, you're a dumbass. That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I plan to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera? And the detective's ID card. I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. That's hilarious. We just instantly picked it up. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. And that means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. He pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person, mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. When did Edward get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me, and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. Why is he allowed that in the court? I just kind of forgot. I just kind of forgot that weapons shouldn't be allowed in a courtroom. Why the fuck do you have a knife? So you knocked Officer Meekins out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. Fuck. So, you did your research beforehand. Those who got into the desert unprepared didn't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference though. Security tapes are raised every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you blooded your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is, on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. But the blood found at the scene clearly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So, you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. Oh. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Oh. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty.
Sussy little baka. Sussy little imposter among us at 4:20 p.m. That's funny. I think it's very clear who the ID card belongs to, by the way. Like, during the playthrough that I first watched, I remember them. I remember this specifically because I remember the person was like really acting dumb, like, well, okay, so there's one more. Who could it be? Like, they'd obviously played it before. They're like, who could this one be for? And I was like, bro, it's gotta be Gant. Like, come on. There's no way that someone would get 7. Is this 7 sevens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no way someone would get 7 sevens as just like a coincidence. That's on purpose for a high-ranking chief, so that he doesn't have to remember any long numbers. And I'm pretty certain it was Gant. I'm pretty certain. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall. Well, when I first watched through this game, Gant did not seem sus to me at all. But playing through this, maybe it's just because I have like the lens of I know that he is a little sussy, but like he seems so sus in this. He seems like just a hecking mean dude. He seems like a mean high school bully. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. It's America, USA, baby. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Best? Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Is that how you say it? I know it's overzealous. And then overzealous is like zealousy, and then zealousy is... Would it be zeal? It's zeal or zeal, I don't care. Let's hear more. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. There's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? I wonder. Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to the case. I'd better take another look. At the files. Yeah, I need to look at the files. Anyway, yeah, I can... Little fella. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. Ugh.
in a list of murder victims. You died, Jake Marshall. That's why you're so invested. You want to find the man who killed you. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago,
Ooh, little fella.
he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police.
Oh, there he is! Oh my god! I never even noticed that he's there. He's so in the corner. Oh my god. Like, I noticed that there was a head. But it's him.
The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer.
Ooh, hi there. Wait! Oh my god. Oh, I just thought of the thumbnail and it's so fucking funny. Thank you, Mr.
Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally done. At least, according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions?
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery's finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day, and I'm going to use this to my advantage. You little fucking bitch. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder of the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Me, because it was, all the evidence points to me. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. Seems to me, this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. There's one other person who went in. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of one Ms. Angel Starr is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Ah! Good word. I rest my case. It seems this trial's reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Emma! Come say hold it. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Hold it! I knew it. Hi, Emma. There she is. She's on the witness stand. Your Honor, wait.
Emma!
The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right?
What do you mean, Wright? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor, in a sense.
Please, Your Honor. All I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
Fuck no! Declare her guilty! I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
Aw, he's a swell guy. He's a lovely lad. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found in Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again.
So, did you find something?
No. Well, shit.
Huh?
Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. Oh. Oh, she tried so hard. Put the sticker up on the screen.
And I'm just an attorney.
But, Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, it didn't show up. I was about to say, there's nothing suspicious about that, because it didn't even show up in this, right? Wait, oh, we can't see. That's why it didn't show up. It's because I couldn't see it. Is there any point where... Oh, that sucks. Oh, they did that on purpose. Heck, I was about to say, I feel like I didn't see a bloodstain, so it wasn't there. So something happened afterwards, but no. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing?
I'm shocked. I don't know why, but I'm shocked.
This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. Oh, the only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something's missing.
The blue badger?
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Oh my god, it is. It is the blue badger.
Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use. The question is, which item would prove something is missing on the floor plans? What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The blue badger's not here. So? So what happens when we put him in? This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well? Well, what? Ugh! Ah! That's right. So long as the blue badger's dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. Ugh!
Didn't choke this time. I mean, I didn't choke the other 2 times either, but I didn't nearly choke this time. I was eating chocolate orange because Marshall's thing was on it for so long. I was like, I might as well just start eating this. So that means, just what exactly does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically.
Emma.
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the blue badger was brought in. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
Thank God I made him British. He said balderdash.
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's my favorite Pokemon. On February 21st, in the police department evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time.
I was so tempted to just start eating the chocolate orange again because I'm like, it's just going to be on here for so long. If it panned to the left again, I would have just started eating it.
Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found in the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport has really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
420.
When did the first incident occur?
420.
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being caught by Jake Marshall, who is posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present evidence? What shows when the... If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh! The ID card record! Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at... Let's see here... 4:50. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be... 4:40 p.m. Ah! Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done?
Oh, the amount of stutters. Oh, I really love that. Oh my god.
Never figured you... I never would have figured you'd add the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card meeting. Card meeting? There's only one other card number remaining. 77777777. 77777. That was the right amount of sevens. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there is no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 77777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 77777777. That's one 7 too many, Your Honor. Oh, was it? Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 77777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. So at this point it is confirmed that that ID number belongs to Gant, because it could literally be no one else at this point. Unless we are introduced to a new character in the next investigation. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is something... I accidentally clicked, that was an accident, I swear. An official charge. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana. Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 77777777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing. About that incident. The SL9 incident. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
Hi, Lana.
Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Miss Redworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time,
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least I did.
Ugh.
Lana. I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Ugh! Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence.
Well, golly. See? That's what I'm talking about. No. No!
Oh my god, the chat is so loud.
Order, order, order! Order! Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day.
Oh my god, that's so loud. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Da-da-da. Alright, well we will finish this next time. However long that is away. Well, hi McSwiggy. Forgot he was here. Okay, so sorry if you could hear that noise. I do that sometimes to like, I don't know how to describe it, but make my throat feel slightly less dry, like clear it out a bit. But yeah, my throat's like really fucked. So I'm gonna just end this right now, so that I'm not just spending the rest of this going and okay, yeah, that will be all for today. Oh, I could probably raid. Can I be bothered? I'm a bit tired. I can't be bothered to find someone to raid. Actually, Baz live, is he? If Baz live, I'll raid him. Alright, Baz live. Let's raid Ba. Cause he's a lovely little fella. Captain. Dun dun dun. Alright, alright, raid message will be fucking, go bosses unite. Cause why the fuck not? That's the red message. I hope everyone has a fantastic time. Just absolutely chilling. And yeah, I will see you some other time. I don't know if next stream is going to be spooky or whatever it's going to be, but I'll see you then. Bye!